Welcome to STUDi.live. We are seeing the chapter The Living World, and in this session we are going to have the information on the topic Binomial Nomenclature. Now, before starting about this binomial nomenclature, let us see general about the concept of nomenclature. So, any object becomes known to human intelligence. How? Only after it has got a name. Like we can say it's a red car or it's a tall tree having pink flowers. So, we can describe anything which we can see only after it has got a name or a nomenclature. Just imagine the scenario if we see objects but we do not have a name for it. So it would be difficult to identify and communicate about that object. Suppose if we are to describe something what we have seen but we do not have a name to describe it, so it would have been a very cumbersome process. So everything becomes easier to communicate when everything and every person or every individual or every animal or plant has a name. So what is nomenclature? Any object becomes known to human intelligence, becomes known to human intelligence only after it is having a name, only after it has a name. And this art of naming an object, when we are naming it, it is called as nomenclature. The art of naming an object, this is the definition of nomenclature. The art of naming an object is called nomenclature. Now, what are the advantages when we have a nomenclature for every object? So when we have nomenclature, first thing is that it helps to avoid the confusion regarding what we are able to see or tell. Second thing, it is a very easy method to communicate. So these are the advantages of having nomenclature. Now, earlier system or the old system of nomenclature was nothing but the vernacular names. Now, when we speak about vernacular names, so vernacular names means the common names which are given to a particular object or a particular animal or a plant in a particular region by local people. Now, local people are giving them its name. For example, we have a plant named as pansy, which is called as viola. Now, this pansy viola was seen in many European and American gardens, and it is a very widely distributed plant. Now, this is having more than 50 different vernacular names in English language. So, when these vernacular names were seen, it is avoiding great confusion because a single object is known by so many different names in different regions. Simple example, if we say mango, which is Mangifera indica, in India itself, this mango is known by 50 different names, all in Sanskrit language. So these vernacular names are the names which are given, in a particular region by local people, So these names create confusion. So what is the disadvantage behind these names? These names create confusion. To avoid this confusion created by vernacular names, the new system was introduced which is known as the binomial nomenclature. Now, a simple example of sweet potato, which is known as Ipomia batatas. Now, this Ipomia batata sweet potato in India itself, in different parts, in different regions, it is known by different names. Like in Maharashtra, it is called as ratalu. In North India, it is called as shakkarkand or kacha alu. Whereas if we move towards South India, it is called as kandamul, jenasu. So what does this create? A big problem of confusion regarding what we have to communicate. So obviously this this vernacular name was never successful. So we are moving to the concept of binomial nomenclature. Now let us move to this binomial nomenclature. This binomial nomenclature, it is nothing but naming an object in binomial, which means two words or two parts or two describing words, which are known as epithets. So it is naming an object, naming in two words or two parts or two describing words, which are known as epithets. Now, this binomial nomenclature was given by Carolus Linnaeus. It was introduced by Carl Linnaeus, who is also known as Carolus Linnaeus, in his book. The name of his book is Species Plantarum. Species Plantarum. And he had published this book in the year 1753. He had published this in his book in the year 1753. Now, this binomial nomenclature was set according to some particular rules, which was known as ICBN, which is called as International Code for botanical nomenclature, which is the nomenclature of the plants, So this ICBN was accepted for a long duration, which is International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. But later what happened was that after a meeting in July 2017, which was taken place in Shenzhen, which is China. So what happened in there was a new code was set up, which was known as the Shenzhen Code. Okay, in the year July 2017, there was Shenzhen Code, which was put forward. Now, this Shenzhen Code was taken place after the meeting, after the 21st meeting of IBC, which is International Botanical Congress. This International Botanical Congress meeting had taken place in China. This IBC, International Botanical Congress meeting had taken place in Shenzhen, China. So, after that, this change had been brought. So, before 2011, ICBN code was accepted. But now what happened was, in the year June 2018, in June 2018, there was the new system which was introduced, which has changed this International Botanical Nomenclature. International Code for Botanical Nomenclature was changed. It was changed to ICNAFP. So this is the new system which was introduced in June 2018. Now this stands for International Code for nomenclature of algae, fungi and plants. For algae, fungi and plants. So this is the new system of nomenclature which is used. Now this was brought about in the year 2018 after the meeting of international meeting of 21st international 21st meeting of IBC, which is International Botanical Congress, and it had taken place in Shenzhen, China. The new code was known as the Shenzhen Code, and it was brought about in July 2017. Now, we are going to see the basic rules of binomial nomenclature. So, before that, we complete this introduction on binomial nomenclature. For more videos, please stay tuned with Study Live. Thank you.